What is up, beautiful friends and family across the world? What is up, what is up? Welcome to the actual second official Hacking Hollywood podcast, live podcast. I'm with Scott Snyder with Solution360.com. He's an expert in the customer experience, and he's gonna get into it. But the reason this is so important, if you're a filmmaker, if you're a content creator, if you're using media today, and it's so important to understand your relationship to your audience, and Scott's insight into that, into what that experience should look like is actually, it's phenomenal. So go ahead, Scott, please introduce yourself. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, my name's Scott Snyder. I'm the founder and CEO of Solution, and we basically have created a unified commerce platform that combines everything you need in order to manage the entire customer experience. And that means everything through the buyer journey to the customer journey. So usually most startups or entrepreneurs are using a whole bunch of different apps from different vendors, using different databases, and they run into trouble because all their data gets locked away in all these different applications, and they can't really access insights that they need to truly understand their customers.
So you're creating a unified commerce. I love anything that has the word unified.
Right.
Is a great thing because we're so fragmented. Everyone's scattered across multiple different apps. You have to use, even just social media. You got Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, IMDb. It's all these social platforms that you got to keep, on top of. And then you got, Google Docs. You got spreadsheets. You got, there's just so many things that any one person has to, you got your WordPress, your database, your customer marketing automation, all this stuff. Like, how does a human being even handle this?
Well, they don't. They get stuck in something I call the integration hell zone. It's a horrible place to be because a lot of us, we're motivated, we want to do right, we want to grow our business, but sometimes we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the tools that we need to do that. And there's this conceptual fallacy that, I'll just get another app for that. And when you're getting all those different apps, you're actually setting yourself back instead of, focusing on unifying it and making it simple for yourself.
And I think this is important to understand. It's, as for filmmakers, for content creators, so we always focus on the art. We want to tell our story. We want to be, be artists. We want to be creative. But the reason I have Scott on today and we're talking about this, databases and customer journey and experience is because the future filmmaker, if you're going to be successful, and I mean financially, and you're going to build a sustainable career in the media industry today in Hollywood, you have to understand, it's highly recommended that you understand these systems, because once you can get it figured out, then you can just get on with it. So the sooner you do kind of unify your commerce, the sooner you understand how your job as a creator is to create an experience through film, through cinema, through all of your contacts with your audience. It's vital. I think that's going to be the difference between the people who just say they're going to do something and the people who do it and then become really successful.
Well, the great part of this is that the whole entire customer experience is really a storyboard. It's all about, moving somebody through a story. From the first time that they engage with your brand, throughout the entire experience, we call these touch points. And whenever they're going to be engaging with you at these touch points, it's called the moment of truth. And the moment of truth is whether or not you're keeping your brand promise, whether or not you're delivering a great customer experience. And if you can get that right, your business is going to grow, your fan base is going to grow, and you just have to think a little bit differently. You want to map out your entire workflow. A lot of people are zoomed in on one part of their business, but sometimes we got to take pause, zoom out, and then start to map everything out, and then strategically work on each one of these specific areas of the journey.
I love that analogy, that the storyboard analogy. Any filmmaker will understand how important a storyboard is, and I think that's actually one thing that the film industry has done so well is when the production of a movie is mapped out. There's all different departments. Each department's broken down: hair, makeup, wardrobe, transportation, the director, the AV department. So there's all these processes. So as filmmakers, we're already doing processes. So why not apply bring it to the next level. The future of filmmaking is understanding these startup and business strategies and systems, because now you're like the super smart filmmaker. Like when you can make that movie, use all those production workflows that have been established in Hollywood, but now apply this startup logic into that, and now you've just like supercharged your creative career.
Absolutely. And we were talking previously about, each entrepreneur has a unique story. And you have to tell that story because you are the attractive character. You're the star of the show. So, whether it's your business or a filmmaker, we want to hear about their struggles and why it's so important for them to be successful with what they're doing, and what kind of impact does that have for other people that are going to follow in their path.
And why is that important to tell your story, your struggle, or what you went through?
It all comes down to empathy. People can relate to struggles, and a lot of times they have similar struggles. And when you can start talking to somebody from that perspective, they're going to be able to bond with you. And that's really part of the whole entire customer experience. When we're talking about the customer experience, you really need to understand that your customers have different needs, wants, and desires. And you want to go and cater to them, and you want to develop content that speaks to those needs.
And I think that even applies to filmmakers. Like if you're looking at producing your next movie, pick a topic that there's already an audience for, and then like how strategic would that be to go, look, people are really into this type of thing. I mean, the studios already do that. They do focus groups. They're already doing this. But you pick something that so you can still do art, but you kind of know like a lot of people are into this one thing, rather than just like, hey, I'm gonna randomly make this movie, which is what I did. I made the mistake of just like, I made this movie, not because I wanted to, it's because it kind of came across my lap, but so I think understanding those is important.
Yeah, it's like, you could still like follow the path of the movie that you want to create, but if you really understand that you have a larger audience, you can cater it, make it more about that story that somebody can relate to, but still tell the big picture of what you initially wanted to do.
Yeah, I love that. And actually, based on Scott's advice, he actually suggested to me that I start telling my personal story, like how I got to this point right here, building the Lights Camera Fun platform, starting to do the Hacking Hollywood TV podcast, and the whole, just starting to share my personal story. And up until, you had mentioned that, I wasn't doing that. And it was like you came in halfway into the movie and didn't know why, who's this kid just randomly live streaming all over Hollywood, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's like coming into the middle of a movie. We didn't know where the beginning of the story was for you, and now we do know, and we know how passionate you are about what you're doing, and it's inspirational, and I think it's going to be hugely successful.
So where are you at? Actually, Scott was a fellow Doji member with me at the Expert Dojo Accelerator. That's how we connected and became friends. Where are you at right now as far as the launch of your Solution 360 platform?
Well, we're getting really, really close. In the coming months, we're going to launch phase 1 of our product. And right now we're working on converting the data, because the platform that we have is like a great big data aggregator. But what we want to do is take that data and be able to convert it into business intelligence. And that's what we want to do for startups and entrepreneurs, is give them the business intelligence that normally only billion-dollar companies have access to. And I think they're going to be doing a lot better in the near future. They're going to get out of being stuck, because going back to what I was talking about before, the integration hell zone is really a place where you get stuck. You want to do a lot, you're motivated to do a lot, but you just don't have access to the technology to make it happen.
So, okay, let's use me as a test case. I'm launching the Lights Camera Fun platform right now. We're about to go live in the next couple weeks. This is the platform. And so how could I use Solution to how I'm at zero. I'm starting from scratch. So I feel like I'm in a good position as far as starting best practices. Right. How could I use as a startup founder, use Solution to make sure that I'm on track, and that what's the power of Solution that I?
Well, I mean, even before Solution, you really need to blueprint your entire business model. And
okay.
I mean literally blueprint it. You know, like right now, you know, you might be going throughout the day doing things that are redundant and you just don't even realize it because there's no plan. So you really have to go back, map out, you know, what is, you know, the whole entire experience for the customers that are going to be using your product. How do they move through your entire different application? You know, what is the story that you're telling them, and how are they going to receive that story? Is it going to be through email campaigns? You're going to develop a content library that speaks to those exact avatars or buyer personas that you're targeting. So I really think strategically you have to do that. Solution's going to help you every step of the way, because my own personal struggle was that I didn't really have a way to manage it. You know, once you get started, before you know it, it's become so overwhelming. It's just, I mean, there's just so much to do. You got 1,000 spreadsheets, 1,000 images, and you're not really making forward progress. So what we want to do is we want to give you the tools to start managing all your content, managing your campaigns, to develop your buyer personas, and to implement marketing automation strategies, and then to have this unified view of all the touch points in your business. And that means from your customer service to your point of sale, lead management, managing your team, employee management, vendor management. We have employee scheduling in place. But when you know, step back for a minute, it's really amazing the power of a unified platform. Because we're working right now on our dashboard technology, and you know, you don't even realize how much business intelligence is buried away in all those fields that you're filling out about your customers. So, you know, one of the most important things that you can do is, you know, build up, you know, your audience even before you have the platform. You know, I wish I did more of that in the early stages, but you know, get everybody's email addresses. And for you specifically, we're talking about developing a content strategy for filmmakers and how they're going to get funding, and putting together a whole entire journey for that.
Absolutely. So the benefit, you guys, if the filmmakers out there watching this, and even our producer fans that are going to come on board, and even our producers who've made it in Hollywood, that are going to be part of the Lights Camera Fund platform as a way to give back to the community. The benefit is that I'm working with Scott to build Lights Camera Fund and use Solution to kind of power the back end, and I believe the benefit is going to really be that we're going to really be able to, you know, empower everyone on the platform to go to the next level. Not just be like, hey, use our platform to build your fan membership business, but really like help them, give them the insights, give them the tools. It might be me doing kind of a lot of the legwork on the back end, but my job as the founder is to make sure that everyone on the platform, whether it's the fan, has an amazing experience, whether it's the filmmakers raising funding, our partners, that they, you know, that they're all having an incredible experience. That this is like crowdfunding 3.0. You know, we're putting the fun into funding. That's, you know, my job.
I like that. Well, I mean, like, you know, it's really important that your strategy is, you know, making something different. It's unique. It's a whole entire opportunity for filmmakers that they didn't have before. So I think that's going to be really important for you. It's a unique selling proposition that you're going to focus on, because you're just not another funding platform, right? And that's about, you know, identifying what is the value proposition, how are you going to convey that to the filmmakers and the producers so that they're all going to get on board with this great idea.
That's excellent. Well, Scott, how do we follow you on social media, and give us all your details?
You can follow me on Twitter, Scott E. Snyder. You can also find me on LinkedIn with the same name, Scott E. Snyder. And you can visit us at Solution, that's SELLUTION 360.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we didn't actually do an official rolling, so here's the, now we're rolling, that's action, and then you gotta do the cut, Hollywood cut.
All right, that's a Hollywood cut.
All right, that's it, guys. We'll see you soon. You can check us out, join the Hacking Hollywood Facebook group, which we're live streaming into. You could follow me on social media at Chai Forest, and check out Lights Camera Fun. We're going live very, very soon. Thank you guys, and that is a Hollywood cut.